Walking into this program, I felt like I had ample training between the training to be in links and my mom being a psychologist and taking AP Psych. I was really comfortable just right off the bat. But with that said, I still learned a lot. It's one thing to learn something on paper, and it's another thing to learn it in practice. So I think that it made a big difference for me to be like, okay, this is legit, this is something that people actually have to go through, I can see their struggles now, I can try to understand it and help them, but working with Justin specifically over any other student with ASD, I learned that autism comes in various levels. I was taught to expect certain behaviors from a student with ASD that Justin didn't really exhibit, or he did the complete opposite of even. He's really good at eye contact, reading facial expressions. He's incredibly social. I was actually only there as like a study buddy because he didn't need any help making friends or talking to anybody or being involved in class. And he doesn't always abide by the rules. He doesn't have that complex that he can't lie. I've actually seen him lie, and it's the weirdest thing to be like, oh no, be taught, oh no, they can't lie, and then work with Justin. But luckily for me, Justin's a good kid, so that didn't happen very often. The only things that he really did were the occasional rocking at his desk and taking especially long to process small problems. Like if I asked him, okay, what's 5 plus 8? Sit there, and sit there, and sit there, sit there, 13. And I understand now because of this program that it's because of the lack of connections, and it takes longer for them to process things because they have to try to connect the dots pretty much. Links benefited me by teaching me how to keep my control freak side under my control. That sounds really weird, but I like having control of everything. I like being the boss, being the leader, whatever, just so I say what's going on. And I realized very quickly that I couldn't do that with Justin. I couldn't strong arm him into doing anything he didn't want to do. He's really easy to persuade to get him to do his work, especially with you, but I couldn't just be like, hey, it's time to do this, you need to do this, otherwise that wouldn't get me anywhere, because ultimately it is his decision on what he does, and I had to let him take responsibility for it, like dropping a few points or having his grade go down because he doesn't want to participate, that kind of stuff. This program was also really good for my academic self-esteem. I was so shocked that I was able to make this big of a difference for Justin when I'm not a 4-point. I don't have straight A's. I don't get hundreds on every test that I take. I'm not a bad student, but I'm not stellar. I'm not the perfect student. I don't study all the time. So it was just crazy to me that I could make this big of a difference and not really be anything special myself. Justin benefited from this because I turned his D's into A's. I don't know if he's taken Algebra 2 before, but I know that he would have really struggled with it. He struggles when I'm not there, which is rarely, but he still struggles with it. He walked right into the class saying, hey, I get D's, I'm not going to get above a D, so just be ready for me to get a D. And me and Miss Davids made 2 separate bets with him. Mrs. Davids bet him that he would get above a D, and I bet him that he would get above a B. And he has an A right now. I don't even think if he didn't take his exam that he would be able to drop down lower than a B. but most importantly, Lynx turned a complete stranger to me into a really good friend. I absolutely love talking to Justin. We hit it off right off the bat. But we had a class last year and we never even looked at each other really. We definitely didn't talk to each other. So walking into this class, I knew who he was. I could identify him, but I never talked to him before. And the very first day, we had so much fun. We listened to the same music. We like the same things, like certain pictures that you can find online and YouTube videos, that kind of stuff, video games even. So that was really cool. And I have legitimately appreciated having him around. We've actually hung out outside of school with his girlfriend. He's a great kid, and I'm so glad to have met him through Lynx. And lastly, I think Lynx is an amazing program. I wish I would have heard of it last year instead of during first trimester this year. Because as a senior and as someone whose schedule is full next trimester, I can't do Lynx again. And I really wish I could be a part of it. Thanks.